Welcome to the video on mode. Let me get our title up on the board here. Mode. So what is the mode? Simply speaking, it is one of our measures of central tendency, and if you haven't stopped to watch the video on central tendency yet, I would suggest that you go ahead and do that now. But the mode, in the most simplest terms, is the most often observed score. And we're going to come back and define this term score a little bit more in just a few minutes. It could be a raw score on a continuous variable. It could be a score from a discrete variable as well. And again, if you don't remember the continuous and discrete differences, I would suggest you go back and rewatch that video as well. So let's just take a random variable x, and we're going to call this random variable x years of employment, how long you've been employed at your particular job. And let's just say that we randomly collect this on a series of 10 individuals, and we get the following data. 7, so if another person is here 8 years, another person that's here 8 years, 7 years of employment, 3, 1, 6, 9, 3, and let's put another person that had 8 years of employment. All right, so the most often observed score. So even though that these scores are not recategorized or ordered from highest to lowest or lowest to highest, we can still quickly observe and scan across here and see that we have, well, let's just look at sevens. So we have, what, 2 sevens here. Do we have anything else that's greater than a frequency of 2? Well, we do. If we take, put it in red here, we have an 8 here, an 8 here. That gets us a frequency of 2, and here you go, we have a third 8. So we have a frequency of 3 here. So the mode of this data set, the mode, would be equal to 8, the raw score of 8. Okay, let's just kind of back up and make sure we understand what this might look like, say, from the perspective of if we graphed it. So if we just did a really kind of crude graph here, this would just be a simple frequency graph. So here's my x-axis, here's my y-axis. My x-axis is going to equal my raw scores. So this is going to be years of employment. And this is going to be on the y-axis, is going to be frequency. So we don't have a frequency any greater than 3, so maybe I'll just put 4 ticks on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And years employed is going and varying from 1 all the way through to the, well, I guess not the highest there, from 1 to 9. So we want to have 9 ticks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Get these labeled. 8 and 9. Okay. So again, and briefly, I'm just trying to make sure we kind of understand what's happening here. Well, how many sevens do we have? We have a frequency of 2 sevens. Okay, so we can kind of plot this mark right here. And we have a frequency of 3/8. So come up over here for the value of 8. We'll put a mark right there. We have 2 3s. Let's see, over here, 2 3s. We have 1 1, 1 6, and see that capture all of them: 3 8s, 2 7s, a 3, a 1, a 6, and 1 9. Okay. All right. So basically, what this data is then kind of looks like, and I'm just going to kind of loosely sketch over this. We'll do it in kind of blue here. That the data kind of looks like this. Okay. Where you can clearly see that the mode here, the most often observed score, is in fact this value right here, which is 8. Now, you could argue that maybe this is bimodal, but this makes something that's a little bit more clearly bimodal than this. Maybe we consider this unimodal. Unimodal. Okay. Let's maybe look at something that more clearly kind of defines this U shape here. So let's go with the same set of, or not the same set of numbers, but something that looks very similar to this. Let's just change the group of scores to maybe something, let me put it over here. Let's change the group of scores to 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, and let's put a bunch of 5s in as well. All right, so again, quickly what you can now see is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 5 ones. So right here we have a frequency equal to 5, and right here we have a frequency equal to 5. So we have now something that is bimodal, right? Where the mode is both 1 and 5. So let's just quickly again look at what this might kind of shape out for us when we go to graph. So again, frequency here on the Y, X is going to be years employed. On the X, here's our Y. I've got frequency of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And years employed is ranging from, well, in this case, 1 to 5 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's for just being here for 1 year, we had a frequency of 5. There's our dot. A frequency of 2 for 2 years. A frequency of 1 for 3 years, 1 for 4 years, and a frequency again of 5 for 5 years. The shape of this is going to be more clear to us that we have something that kind of looks more U-shaped here in terms of a clear bimodal piece where you have, you know, a mode equal to 1 here and another mode equal to 5 here. So clearly bimodal. Now they don't always have to be at the same frequency. In this case, it's coming right through the 5. Okay. It could be that if we change all these 5s up here to 4s, that you would have a mode of instead of taking 5 5s over here, you could have maybe 3 5s or 4 5s, and so the height of this peak right here may be changed to something that looks like this. It's just a little bit lower. Now when that happens, they're not at the same height anymore. What you would have now is this one over here would become a major mode, and then this one over here would become a minor mode. And that is essentially the basics of mode, keeping in mind that the one thing we need to understand is that the real mode is often not clearly defined unless our n, which is the number of scores, is as large as the range. These modes won't clearly kind of pop up to us if our n, or our number of scores, is not at least as large as the range. That is the basics of mode. Again, is a measure of central tendency. If you need to go back and review the video on central tendency, I suggest you do so. Thanks for watching the video.